Welcome to Mexico, where they take politics very seriously. So seriously that today, a local mayor is marrying a crocodile.
That can't be right.
You did not mishear that. It's a full-on wedding. The crocodile has a dress, a veil, and godparents. She's even being baptized. Her name is Alicia Adriana, and the entire town is here to celebrate.
Are you being for real?
I'm real as the streets, okay?
In a few hours, the mayor will tie the knot and seal the deal with a kiss, right on her snout. And before you think this is some elaborate prank for a reality show, you should know this is a deeply serious tradition, and it's been happening for over 200 years.
It is an old, very old, very ancient, very serious
Tradition.
I'm here to find out why. So, I've arrived in the small town of San Pedro Huamalula in Osaka. At first glance, it feels like a typical local fiesta. There's a festive energy in the air. Music is echoing from a distant street, and everyone seems to be in a generally good mood. I'm thinking, great, a charming cultural experience. Then, I start asking what all the fuss is about.
See what all the fuss is about.
And I quickly learn the wedding I came to see today is still 2 days away. Everything I'm seeing today, it's just the opening act, the bride's baptism.
The what?
I follow the crowd to a local church, and that's where I see her. Alicia Adriana, the Cayman princess, is dressed in a simple, colourful outfit. She's being held by a local couple, her official godparents for the year, who look immensely proud. A real Catholic priest then proceeds to conduct a formal baptism ceremony for a crocodile.
It's crocodiles, okay?
This isn't even human!
Apparently, before a reptile can be a suitable bride for the mayor, she needs to be absolved of her original sins, which, for a crocodile, I can only assume involves eating something it shouldn't have and not feeling remotely bad about it. After the ceremony, there's a party. People are dancing with the crocodile, cradling her like a baby. This elaborate ritual, this town-wide celebration, is literally just the opening act.
This is madness.
If this is how they baptize the bride, what on earth is the actual wedding going to look like?
See, people, this just got interesting.
2 days later, the real wedding day arrives, and the town's energy kicks up several notches. It all starts with the sound of a chaotic brass band that seems to follow you wherever you go. I found out that while the mayor is getting ready at the town hall, the bride is having her own preparations at her godparents' house. And when I say preparations, I mean she is being painstakingly dressed in a bespoke, hand-sewn white wedding gown, complete with lace, embroidery, and a tiny floral crown. Then, the procession begins. Forget a quiet walk down the aisle. Here, the wedding procession is a boisterous, joyous parade that takes over the entire town. Fishermen lead the way, casting their nets into the air in a symbolic prayer for a good catch. They're followed by traditional dancers in colourful, masked costumes and basically every single resident of San Pedro Huamalula. It's a vibrant, earnest and deeply chaotic parade, led by a crocodile in a wedding dress.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I feel the need to keep repeating that last part just to make sure my brain accepts it as reality. She's carried on a decorative pillow like a sacred artifact. As she passes, people cheer. I get a closer look and notice her snout is tightly bound with a ribbon. A practical, if slightly ominous, detail for any marriage, I suppose.
Does that make sense?
The whole procession snakes through the dusty streets, a river of colour and sound, all heading for the municipal palace. The bride is officially on her way. And I can't help but wonder, what kind of groom patiently awaits the arrival of his reptilian princess? The parade finally reaches the municipal palace where the groom is waiting, and he looks surprisingly calm for a man about to marry a crocodile. This, I learn, is the whole point. This is where history crashes into the present day. The tradition is a living reenactment of a 230-year-old peace treaty. You see, the land-based Chantal people were historically at odds with the sea-based Huave people. To end the conflict, the Chantal king married the Huave princess. Their marriage symbolized the end of their conflict, a union of land and sea that brought peace. Today, the mare represents that king, and the crocodile, well, she's the princess. The crocodile, affectionately known as La Niña Princesa, also represents Mother Earth, and the ceremony is believed to bring blessings for good harvests, rain, and harmony with nature. So while he delivers his vows, his real audience is the townspeople. He speaks of marriage as a historic moment, a union of two cultures to seek progress, and asks for the abundant harvests and good fishing. The pledges are heartfelt, though I'm pretty sure the bride has already tuned out. She seems far more interested in finding a sunny spot for a nap. Then comes a moment everyone has been waiting for, the climax of the ceremony. The mayor takes his bride, holds her up for the cheering crowd to see, and leans in. He then presses his lips firmly onto the snout of the caiman.
Disgusting.
An act signifying the sacred union of two peoples, and a complete and utter disregard for the known risks of contracting salmonella.
Oh geez.
The deal is sealed with a kiss. So, what happens after you marry a crocodile? Is there a reception with tiny reptilian-friendly canapes?
I mean, I hope not.
The second the kiss is over, the town erupts. The brass band kicks into high gear, and a massive party spills out into the square. The mayor, true to his new marital duties, takes the first dance with his bride.
This is a good man.
He holds the reptile in his arms, spinning her around as the crowd cheers and someone hands him a large glass of mezcal. It's a scene of pure, chaotic joy. But as I watch this unfold, I can't help but see the modern world creeping in at the edges of this ancient tradition. For one, there's the animal rights issue. Groups like PETA have pointed out the obvious. For a wild animal, being captured, dressed up, and paraded through screaming crowds is incredibly stressful, no matter how much deep respect is intended. While the locals treat her with reverence, it's hard to argue that her welfare is the top priority here. Then, there's tourism. The secret is definitely out. What might have once been a quiet local ritual has become a full-blown international spectacle. For every earnest local celebrating their heritage, there are 5 tourists, like me, filming on their phones, turning a sacred act into social media content.
Let's roll the tape.
You have this deep, authentic spiritual meaning clashing with the commercial reality of a viral event. So, amidst all of this dancing and controversy, one crucial question remains. What's the long-term plan for this marriage? I mean, do they move in together? Does she get half of his assets if this doesn't work out?
I don't know.
After all the dancing, the vows, and the tourist selfies, I finally find out what really happens to the happy couple. And it turns out the happily ever after part of this story is quite short. The princess bride, Alicia Adriana, doesn't move into the mayoral palace.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Get that thought out of your head.
There are no awkward morning afters, no arguments about who gets which side of the bed. In fact, shortly after the festivities die down, she is unceremoniously taken to a local lagoon and released back into the wild. The marriage, as it turns out, is purely symbolic and lasts just long enough for a really good party. As I watch the ripples fade away where she disappeared, it all kind of clicks into place. In the end, you realize the ritual's true purpose has little to do with a man marrying a crocodile. It's really about connecting a community to its history, its land, and its faith in the future. It's a promise, sealed with a kiss on a reptile's snout, that the rains will come and the fish will be plentiful. And the marriage itself? Honestly, it might be the most practical marital arrangement I've ever seen.
And I've seen a lot.
No muss, no fuss, and a guaranteed good fishing season. Maybe they're onto something after all. So that's the story of the Crocodile Bride. What's next? A festival where people climb 60-foot towers covered in buns to bring good luck.
Wait, really?
Yes, really. If you want to see that, and you probably do, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it.